Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 8 U.S. Battleship North Carolina. It has 9 main guns, 20 secondary guns, 108 AA guns, a top speed of 27.9 knots, total health 66,000. For my modules, reduce crit chance on main battery, increase AA range, reduce flood and fire chance, faster rudder shift. And for my commander, situational awareness, basic survivability, basic firing training, faster turret traverse, lower cooldown on damage control, and advanced firing training. We are on the map Two Brothers. I, along with a friendly cruiser, are going to push the eastern flank. Looks like most of the enemy and most of my allies are pushing the western flank. So I'm getting this based on the mini-map and based on what I see around me. Obviously, there's no enemies in sight. I'm also not spotted by situational awareness. And you could see that all the aircraft are all on the west, engaging each other, spotting each other. Hectic as hell. So when you see this kind of deployment, you really need to exploit it. You need to push, put a lot of pressure on them to defend or get the hell out of the way. Show no mercy. It looks like we might end up going up against a destroyer and a battleship. That's about it. That's way too few when I am in my North Carolina. The North Carolina is so strong in the right hands, and they've been unwise in lowering their defenses. And not send enough ships to deal with me. We've got, of course, the cruiser, so we got that aircraft, defensive fire. This is like the perfect escort scenario. We're both really strong ships together, and as we are moving forward, we can support each other. I can take out all of the cruisers relatively easy. He can take all the destroyers out relatively easy. And it's kind of a push on battleships. It's just a brawl. But he is providing me with defensive fire, and I am providing him with help pull if they choose to fire on me. So make sure, if you're in this situation, get a teammate. You can't do this alone. And I love that this cruiser decided to come with me. We're staying close together. He swapped positions, so he will be farther back than me. Again, all these little things you can do to maximize your potential damage and minimize the damage you take, unless, of course, you are the tank. And battleships are definitely the tank. There's a little tiny engagement in the center of the map. Destroyer on destroyer. Friendly is already engaging the enemy cruiser. It is a Cleveland. I'm not going to have a chance to fire on him until he moves away from the island. Those two destroyers, they must have missed their torpedoes. They're just sailing past each other. I wonder what's going to happen. I'm 100% focused, however, on taking out this enemy cruiser. And I see the friendly destroyer is knocked out. Dang it. Allies need to take care of him. He can have a free run at the friendly carriers, and that's kind of what I was trying to avoid. I was trying to hold the flank for them. So the Cleveland is coming out. He is far too broadside. This is an easy shot. Waterline, of course. We only have our front guns, but that's fine. And we're able to do nothing. What? 5,200 points of damage for 4 rounds. Oh, that was just hideous. We saw so low damage, we're going to try and wiggle to get our back gun to get something. This is just unacceptable. Front guns are almost ready. And anytime you're against a U.S. cruiser, you can be pretty brazen with your angling because they don't have torpedoes. There's no threat of a one-shot mechanic like the Japanese cruisers or the German cruisers now. So we're holding fire, waiting for him to soften his angles so it's perfectly broad. We fire everything. Much better aim, and of course, much better aim. 13,000 points of damage, 2 Citadel penetrations. See you later, Cleveland. And we're keeping neck and neck with the enemy so far. Enemy battleship is right in at A. The enemy destroyer is at B. Friendly cruiser appears to be reacting. And the friendly aircraft carriers are keeping them spotted. That's really what you need to do as an aircraft carrier. Don't rely on your teammates trying to defend you without you providing that intel, that vital intel. It's so critical to keep those destroyers spotted. And when I'm in my destroyer, screw you. Screw you guys that keep me spotted. I hate it. We fire on the enemy turrets. We're keeping a harsh angle. I'm currently trying to work through if it's worth it to bring that back gun in a battleship that has 2 turrets in the front, 1 turret in the back, like the Iowa, North Carolina, and the Yamato. They all basically play exactly the same. So whatever strategy I end up with, should be working out. So I was a little greedy. I brought the back guns to bear. I showed my side, but thankfully he hits the water and doesn't penetrate my armor. We bring our front guns, we fire on the enemy, and unsuccessful so far. But we're still holding this flank. We know basically there are no enemies on the eastern side of the map. Our carriers can safely be on the eastern side of the map and not have to worry about being flanked by the enemy in any scenario, since we've destroyed or pushed back all the enemy that could potentially put pressure on them. There's just one enemy destroyer, and he's on the west side. I saw him. He's going in and out of stealth, so we don't have to worry about him right now. We do have another Tirpitz coming in. I try to choose a target that's broadside that has a potential to do the most maximum damage. Teammates like, push quickly, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta get on the point. I gotta make the enemies react. Most likely, they will overreact. Anytime you see someone capturing your point, you kind of get worried. Oh no, they could hurt me. And I'm hoping that'll happen. I'm hoping one of them will break off and weaken the western flank. We take fire, but we have minimal angling, and that's very important. Very, very, very important. It looks like our rounds were unsuccessful. The Tirpitz isn't moving at all. The Mogami is sailing all around erratically. We can't afford to fire on him. We're going to switch to these targets. They're much too close. Enemy cruiser shows up. Enemy Atlanta. I'm not passing this up. I'm using my back gun at least. If I need my front guns, I'll bring them to bear too. Fire on the Atlanta, and he's firing on us too. We take him out with our back gun. Fantastic. That would have been really annoying. The Atlanta will chew up battleships if left to his own devices. We fire on the Tirpitz with our front guns. We do have a bad angle, and we get 16,000. That's pretty much maximum potential damage you can expect firing on a Tirpitz. Their armor is just extremely, extremely good at preventing citadel penetrations. Do a quick check of the friendly. He's doing pretty good considering he's fighting a battleship. 2 actually. Friendly aircraft carrier does a fantastic torpedo strike on the enemy Tirpitz. He's down to 1/3 of his hit points. We're going to slowly inch our way out, and we still don't have a firing arc. I see that the friendly sends out torpedoes. We set up, we're trying to make sure we have all our guns ready to fire. The Tirpitz is actually softening his angle. Interestingly, maybe he wants to send out torpedoes. That's the only thing I can think of. And this should be an ideal penetration for us. Yeah! We land all 9 and we barely do 9,500 points of damage. Just depressing. But we're alive, we're not taking damage. I'm kind of trying to entice them to pay attention to me. I'm moving with a broad target. This battleship has refused to fire on me, so anytime he's going to do that, I'm going to maximize my damage. Anytime the friendly is taking fire, you need to try and make the enemy want to fire on you. We fire again at the enemy, and we do basically the same amount of damage with only 4 of our rounds. He is finished off by the friendly. Now we only have 1 Tirpitz. I don't know the health of the friendly. Oh gosh. Now I know the health of him. He is way too low. So we're just trying to re-angle and fire again on this enemy Tirpitz, but the dead Tirpitz sent his torpedoes, which are unsuccessful. And I hope the Myoko is moving away. I hope he's trying to just stay alive. It's still a really close game. We only have an advantage of 2 ships, but anyone can win this. We get a nice citadel in the back half, 17,000 points of damage. The enemy Tirpitz fires on the friendly, and is he still alive? He's still alive. Whew. Come on, stay alive, buddy. Bringing our front guns to bear. That was only our back guns, and we did that much damage. See the friendly Tirpitz in the background? Richard Cranium. Number 1. I guess there's 2 Richard Craniums. Interesting. We fire our front guns. We don't lead the target as well. We only do 4,300 points of damage. We adjust our lead, and come on, get this guy dead. Looks like it's going good. 2,100. We hit the superstructure. Not an ideal target. It looks like the enemy is trying to react. Both the Mogami and the Tirpitz are coming back. We find our first aircraft carrier that is in the north. Probably the other one is there too. He sets us on fire. We're going to use our damage control. We have a premium damage control, and we don't really have to worry about torpedoes right now. So we're going to be aggressive in this scenario. Normally, you don't want to be this aggressive. And he sent out torpedoes. Did you see that? Yeah, he's got torpedoes in the water. But he's so far back, he doesn't have range. And oh, barely. Friendly finishes him off with a bomb, but dang it. Another guaranteed kill that goes away. But we got the kill as a team, and that's all that matters. Enemy Mogami and enemy turrets. I'm too broadside, and I paid for it. Definitely took too much damage. Need to have a better angle. It's just lazy. A lot of times I'll sacrifice my angle to try and get the gun to rotate just slightly faster, and it pays off sometimes, but it's a very greedy strategy to play. We fire only our back guns, and we do moderate damage for only 3 shots. They all land, so miraculously we had that kind of accuracy. Sometimes the accuracy is completely off. Now we're at a better angle to engage the enemy. But, of course, we just rotated all our guns, and now they have to rotate all the way back. So it's just one of those things. You either sacrifice your ability to do damage to the enemy, or you sacrifice the ability for you to tank that damage. Again, we're doing great damage with only 1 turret, but let's get the front 2 turrets engaged. And look at that, the premium damage control is just back up. We were able to avoid fire for that long. That it's up if we want to use it. Now I feel like I'm going to take too much damage from both the Mogami and the turrets. It's too much of a chance to get another fire, so I'm going to hang on to it until I get another fire. And that's just all feel for the moment. You can't just have a straight strat for everything. Sometimes you need to feel, and oh, can you believe how crappy that was? Sorry. Whenever the enemy is angling away, I just need to aim a little bit better. See the Mogami? He's moving away. It looks like they're trying to defend their aircraft carriers from the friendly New Orleans, who has pushed into the enemy's base. While they're doing that, the Mogami is engaging me. Looks like the turrets might not be interested in engaging me. Nope. Those guns are pointed directly at my ship. We're holding for a second fire before we use damage control. The enemy turrets rounds are coming in. No, they look pretty inaccurate. What the hell? That was like no damage. So we've continued to do no damage. This is a very close game, as you could tell. 4v4. 1 cruiser, 1 battleship, 1 cruiser, 1 battleship, 2 carriers. It's all on our team winning the game. And we could potentially engage the enemy aircraft carrier. I was looking at it. I fire, of course, on the turrets because he is a bigger threat to me. And he angles avoiding all that damage. But you can see the Ranger in the background, he's pretty close. That's a very easy shot. And yeah, I'm like, I might as well take this guy out. If I could take the Ranger out, that's a lot of extra damage we can put towards something else, because I know my teammates have been going after the aircraft carriers. So we fire on the enemy Ranger. Only 6,300 points of damage. Easily could kill this guy if we could just get him to land on target. And of course, just meter, less than a meter, right on top of the enemy. And yeah, we fired trying to make sure we can kill him, but we basically stole that kill. It's 1 for 1. That 205 was basically our kill, so yeah, I feel bad, but at least the carrier's dead. Friendly carrier takes out the enemy turrets, and now it's just the Mogami and 1 other aircraft carrier. We've swung this way in our favor. 2 big threats taken care of. The enemy aircraft carrier is sending torpedoes, so of course I'm running away from them. I'm keeping my AA on them for the maximum amount of time, and I'm minimizing the time that the target has to set up a good, clean attack run. As long as he's over my AA, he's taking a huge amount of losses. And that's just reading the situation. When you see enemy aircraft coming towards your ship on the minimap, you gotta kinda just realize they're coming right for you. It's better to just assume they're coming for you, angle your ship appropriately, and then deal with them, rather than risk taking damage. And this guy got really close, but no cigar. He was taken out by the friendly aircraft and my AA. We're going to try and return the favor. The enemy Lexington is very low. Friendly New Orleans dies, probably to the Mogami. We know the Mogami is somewhere out west. We see the Lexington. He's taken a ton of fire damage. He's dead. No reason to even worry about him. So as the Lexington dies, it's just the enemy Mogami. We're going to try and get as close to him and engage him. We are capping the base, but I don't know if we need to capture the base. I'm going to stay in the capture, of course, but I think we can get this kill. I'm pretty confident in my ability to get this kill. And this game was pretty interesting. Not a lot of times you get to push a flank and be on the offensive and turn it into a defensive hold on the enemy base and put pressure on them to come back and defend. I have no idea what happened in the West. It was a bloodbath, that's all I know. And they were able to stall the enemy long enough that we were able to take a lot of enemy ships down. And our aircraft have been doing a fantastic job. 3 between them and probably way more. The open flank, the protection that they were receiving, it's just ideal for an aircraft carrier. Don't leave them hanging. You gotta protect the side that they spawn on. It's just straight how it has to work. Enemy Mogami engages us, knocks us out of the capture, but this is basically a win. There's no way he can kill me and the aircraft carrier in time to get enough points in his favor. So this is just gravy. Let's get this broadside shot going. We only have our front guns available. We are pretty low. He could kill us. We fire and he angles. Good reaction. We're going to try and just go for it. We're going straight at him. We can't afford to take too much damage from this guy. Now, he can send out his torpedoes, but we know what we need to look for. His butt would be facing us, and right now it's not facing us. He's got a pretty, almost broadside. Yeah, that's so soft. Guns are almost ready to fire. 7 kilometers out, we fire at the waterline. Looks like we're getting good dispersion, and we're able to take out the Mogami. And that's our 4th kill of the game. And we were able to push the flank, do a lot of damage, disrupt, get Dreadnought, Arsonist, 4 Citadels. 2,459 base XP, 17 aircraft taken out, and we did 131,000 points of damage. Just a solid game in the North Carolina. I hope you enjoyed seeing this Battleship game. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.